Falcons preseason stats aren't readily available. Have you started a preseason game before?
I started the fourth preseason game in 2018. Yeah, so I think I started that game.
I'm sure I know the answer to this, but how are you just attacking this week, given that you'll probably start, and kind of how are you looking to build off last Saturday?
I'm honestly looking just like I do every day. Like you guys probably expect me to say, but for real, like prepare like I'm the starter, ready to go. Like even last week, I didn't know I was going to play immediately in the second half. Was told probably fourth quarter, and then Jordan had his little thing, so just was ready to go. Just trying to build off of it this week, take care of the football a little bit better, keep being decisive, keep throwing it, and not hesitating.
Kurt, I know you've been around a lot or whatever, but like to be in that situation where, hey, it's halftime and they come to you and say, you're going to go. Is that just a good training thing for a guy, in your spot to be like, okay, this is what being a 2 or a 3 is about?
Yeah, I think it's good because, no matter what, if you're the 2, you never know when you're going to play in a regular season game. You just got to always have your helmet near you, holding the football most likely, just making sure you're ready to go on the sideline. Even if, the main guy's helmet just pops off, you just always have to be ready. So it's kind of how I approach everything.
Kurt, what does a week like this do for you, though? You go from, getting the 3 reps, whatever there as far as a team, to taking the 2s in a joint practice. How have you sort of approached that this week, and what's the benefit to seeing that much work? Yeah,
I think there's just little nuances of the offense that don't show up until you go through it and mess something up. And then it's hey, we really want you to do this a little bit different. I think up until I got more reps during the game than I have probably altogether since I've been here. So that was sweet to kind of get that rolling. But knowing that I'm going to get those 2 reps this week in practice has been great. Kind of just to iron out some kinks before the game, help me settle in a little more, kind of sit in the pocket a little more, work on some things I wanted to work on.
You had a little taste of it at family night, but what was it like to experience Lambeau like that? I guess playing your first game here.
Yeah, well, that was in Atlanta, I obviously played in preseason, but we had not nearly as many fans there. That felt like a regular season game. The energy was awesome. It was loud. When they were when they had the ball on third down, you knew the stadium was going to be loud and stuff. So it was just cool to be a part of it. I think it gives you as close to a real game feel as you can get in preseason.
What's just been like these last couple of weeks getting to perform in a game in family night for these fans? I know they kind of, through the social media interactions, they've kind of gotten to know you, but having that direct contact.
I just think it's cool to kind of be able to show people what I can do, not just throwing into a net or whatever, just hanging out on social media and stuff, but to show that, hey, I'm an NFL quarterback too, not just a guy on social media that has fun, and that I take my job seriously and that I'm prepared and that football's first. So I think it was nice to kind of go out there, and even though it wasn't a perfect performance or super clean by any means, but I was able to show that I can do it.
Balance in space, and you want to impress the coaches, you want to show them that you can complete passes like you did in the beginning of that game, but then also you don't want to make dumb mistakes or force the ball into coverage or something like that. How much of a balance is that?
Yeah, I think, that's the perfect question. How do you stay aggressive and stay with a quick trigger, but also do it at the right times? And I think, that's the balance that any young guy has to kind of find the fine line of. Know which throws you can make that are dangerous and which ones that just aren't worth it. The interception I had, it was second down, I think. Or it was either first or second down, but you don't need to make that throw. You can move on to the next play and get another play that'll roll. But I think finding that fine line, but don't let it make you a hesitant player, because I felt in college when I was hesitant, that was when I was at my worst. So I try to keep just being aggressive and clear-minded.
Your daughter was born after last year's preseason, right?
Yeah. Oh, 26th. I don't really know about preseason last year. It was COVID.
So my question is, was Saturday? That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
That's all good.
What was it like having her in the stands first row watching you play?
Really, really cool. Even just having her, being able to come to practice and then to practice, be able to see her at the end, I think it just kind of gives me a whole new perspective of my job, and it kind of takes the edge off a little bit, because no matter what happens here, I could have a great practice, a bad day, she doesn't care when I go home. She just wants to play with her blocks and her cars and stuff. So it's been pretty cool to kind of take the edge off and just, it separates work from home a little bit more for me. Helps out.
The throw you had today, I think it was to Josiah, rolling out. I don't know if that happens in a game, but it sure looked like it would have.
Yeah.
What did you see there, and how does that, throw like that? I know it's only practice, but what does that mean for you?
I think, they had a pressure on, and I changed the protection, and then I think they may have flipped their pressure as well, so I know it's going to be hot off the left side. Looked right. We had a little bit of a miscommunication on the right side, and I just took off knowing that was my soft edge. And guys like Josiah and Bobby, those guys are really good on scramble drill. And when the second play starts, that's kind of where they thrive even more. So he did a really good job adjusting and was open downfield for me.
What's your take on joint practices, and what do you get out of it?
I think for me, like, you don't necessarily, like, we didn't really game plan for it, but it kind of stresses your rules and protection. It's a different defense than we see obviously every day in a different front. Like, they're more 4-down and stuff, but third and long, they have a pretty exotic, like, rush package, which for me helps test my rules and know what I need to do. And third down's the money down, so you have to make sure that you're shored up in protection and can make those throws.
Hey, Kurt, with the Jets here,
Mhm.
Greg Knapp would have been here, obviously.
Yeah.
What did he mean to your development? Because everyone who talks about him just raves about the kind of guy he was.
Yeah, well, I spent a lot of time with him. I spent probably more time with him in 3 years than anybody, including my wife. Like, we were sun up to sundown. He was always like, I mean, keeping me after, doing extra stuff. And he really invested like into the third guy that wasn't even seeing the field. Like, I wasn't even close to seeing the field with Matt Ryan and Matt Schaub. And he made sure that I was just as important, like, to develop as it was to get number 2 ready for game day. But I mean, I attribute a lot of like my success. And coming out of college, I was just like the gunslinger, just trying to make plays. And I didn't really play super clean. And I think he helped me blend my game a little more towards, hey, this is how you play quarterback in the NFL. And then you can also mold your skill set around that. But this is like the base of what you need to know to be successful. And I attribute a lot of my success to him. So obviously that was really tough. I was talking to him that morning about this practice we were supposed to have with him. And it was tough. It was tough.
Kurt, watching you Saturday night against the Texans, your second or third drive, it's like not only you guys are changing on the perimeter, but 2 more guys on the offensive line. When you watch that tape, do you think about any things you can do to find a second, a tick, where you can bring that next group together and get the ball off together as the quarterback? Do
you mean like when when everyone's switching in personnel and stuff and how to like stay on track? Is that the question? I think for me, like I was a little antsy in the pocket when I didn't have like play action pass and things that kept me in rhythm. So I got a little bit, I think one of the sacks was definitely on me. I think I only got sacked once, but like that was bad on me. And then I had one that I threw away. I think that was on me. But I think this week that was something I really tried to work on no matter who's in there, to like sit in the pocket, stay ready, like stay going through your progressions and not get too excited and ready to go make the scramble play, but just take what they give me. So I think it's more important when you get new guys in just to kind of keep going through the basics.
So all the connections you made with the fans, have you gotten any invites to tailgate parties? They want you to stop in the parking lot?
I've had a lot of DMs that I haven't even gotten a chance to read yet, so it's been pretty crazy. I'm like slowly catching up, but camp has been pretty strenuous on that. So I haven't really had a chance to kind of reach out to fans and stuff, but I try to go through them as best I can, but I'm sure there's a lot of invites and stuff out there too.
So, Kurt, I feel like now in the last 2 times we've talked to you, I've asked you the 2 heavy questions, so I apologize.
Oh, it's good.
I'm wondering, though, you got into the game last Saturday night, and, afterward Matt talked about talking with Jordan about letting it rip. I assume he did not have to talk to you about that? Like, you got in there and you really, how have you blended what you were talking about earlier with Knapp?
Yeah.
How have you blended the gunslinger part of you to get the discipline to kind of be in the position you're in now?
I think footwork is the biggest thing, and I'm honestly like redoing all of my footwork that I learned in Atlanta to here, because Aaron does it a little bit differently, but the same idea is there. Like, you want to have certain plays that you throw in a plant, certain plays you throw with the hitch. Some you need to hitch up, some you need to hitch in place, and then some you need to reset back in the pocket. So there's just like a whole new world of footwork that is like a little more next level for me. And if you saw me in OTAs, which I didn't get many reps, but I was so uncomfortable. And now I've had more time to kind of see Aaron do it live and then try to replicate it. But I think the footwork is what's helped me become more of a pro than anything, because it keeps your internal clock ready.
Sarah, let's go to Zoom.
Okay, just one in here, Chris Rock.
Hey Kurt, some of these things we're talking about, I'm just curious, you know you're going to play a lot. You played the half the other night, but you're probably going to play an awful lot coming up on Saturday. Does that make some of this stuff easier, knowing that I'm going to get another series, I'm going to get a series, I can work on things because I know I'm going back out there? How does that work in your mind?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, knowing that you're going to get a chance to get into a rhythm, and I don't know. I think I'm always ready to play, like I keep saying, but I think just knowing that you're going to have more opportunities, like you don't have to be as aggressive. I'm not like the bottom barrel guy trying to just make plays so they see me. It's more of a take care of the football, march the offense, operate, and make sure guys are in the right spots doing the right things. So it's a little bit of a different approach, but still trying to take care of the football.
are Sam and, is it Scout?
Scout.
Can you sense the excitement in your house about Saturday, especially from Sam?
Yeah, for my wife, she's excited. And I have a bunch of family in town. On Sunday, we're actually having Scout's birthday party a little bit early, so we have family in town for that. So it's kind of a cool opportunity to have more people in town for the game I'm going to be starting in, most likely.